Hello, grade 6 students. Welcome to today's grade 6 science lesson, chapter 1, Wonders of the Living World. I started doing this for grade 6 students because I think I could explain the chapter to you very simply so that you can understand, and you just don't have to study because science is all about understanding. Before starting off this lesson, before starting off this series, I want to tell you, the grade 6 students, I think it's better for you to understand what I'm saying and just write the note when I tell you to without copying everything on the textbook or just everything like you find, because not everything is needed for you to write down. It's because science is better when you understand the concept rather than just, study it. Because if you understand, you don't have to study. When I was in grade six, like 6 years, 7 years back, I never had a text writing book for science. I just read my textbook before I went to the exam, just the experiments. But in class, I always listened to the teacher and just understood the concept. So I always had 90s in science because of that. Even in O levels, I got an A for science because I understood the concept rather than just studied for 2 years. So I think it would be easy for you guys if you listen clearly, because I will be telling you again and again the concept. Then you can, understand and write your exam. It's easy. So the first chapter of your textbook is Wonders of the Living World. So let's discuss what the living world is. What do you think is the living world? Yes, it's exactly what we are doing right now. We are living in a world. So the living world is consisting of an environment, right? Different environments. We live in an environment right now. My surrounding environment right now is my room in my hostel. So like that, you might be in your bedroom, in your house. You might be listening this in a bus, maybe. There are different environments. So all these environments consist of human, plants, animals, buildings, then water bodies, lands, like everything is a component of an environment. Component is something like a thing in existing in the environment, which is in the environment. So in your textbook, there are four pictures given, right? So let's discuss what these pictures are. These all of these are environments. So the first one you can see, it's like a city, right? There are like a lot of people, there are families maybe going to buy food, buy clothes maybe. You can see a lot of vehicles, there's a bus going on, and and also you can see a factory because there's smoke coming out from a factory, right? There is like various stuff happening in this picture, but after all, this whole image is an environment. The next picture is an environment of a village, I guess, because there's a temple, you can see paddy fields, there is a man carrying stuff on his head like this, and you can see someone reading a newspaper as well. So this is a very calming environment, but at the same time, it's an environment. It consists of living components and like various components, not just living, but various components, living, non-living. So it's an environment. Even the third, fourth pictures. Third one is maybe it's a picture of a forest. So it's a forest environment, maybe. There are a lot of there are two deers drinking water. There's a monkey. There are two birds looking at the deers, I guess. There are flowers, butterflies, and also some like three or four elephants bathing in the lake, river, maybe river. And you can see even flowers, you can see lotus in the water. So the fourth picture is of a seaside. A fisherman carrying, I guess, fish. and there is a coconut tree. Under the coconut tree, you can see two boats are kept. There's a sea, there are seagulls, or maybe birds, various kind of birds. So all these are different environments. So in our living world, we can see different environments, various type of environments. It's not always the same. My environment is not the same as you guys' environment, right? So environments differ. It's basically where we live at the moment. So now we are moving to a different concept. Just think, take a shoe that you wore like when you were like 6 or 7 years. Just take it to your hand and look at it. When you look at it, just think, can I wear this now? I don't think so. Because now you're 11 years, right? 11 years, the shoe that you bought when you were 6 years and now you're 11 years, you have grown, like you have increased, right? You have gotten bigger. Why do you think you have gotten bigger and like you can't fit in the shoe? Your foot won't fit in the shoe. Why do you think that is? Hmm, good question, right? So this is science. Why does everything happens is about science. Staying curious is very important in science, okay? So if you think about the shoe, you can't fit in it because you have grown. The word growth is very important in science. So growth is basically the increase in size, height, or amount is growth. So please write down in your notebook, put a star, just put the chapter number 1, Wonders of Living World, then first star mark, then write the increase in size, height, or amount is called growth. Okay, so growth is basically increasing of maybe your body weight, your height, your hair, even your hair grows, right? I had very short hair 2 years ago. And the amount of something, everything's about growth. You keep growing and growing and growing. As you get older, you grow. So it's increasing. So it's very important. Just remember, growth is basically the increase. That means increasing. Like, වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ. වැඩි වෙනවා. The increase in height, size, or amount. Okay, we have an activity to do. So complete the following grid using the things you listed in activity 1.1. Or did we have activity? Oh, observe your classroom and the environment outside the classroom. Then list out what you could see in the environment. So I'll show you guys what I have with me right now, okay? So I have a pen, I have a ruler, I have a pencil case. Also I have a cup, you see? Okay, so you can just look around you, see what you have. Maybe you have plants around you. I don't have plants. I only, because this is my studying table, I don't have anything like, food or anything. But you might have food around you. Maybe you're in the kitchen. Maybe you have earphones because you're listening this in the bus. There are a lot of possibilities, right? So, okay, so complete the grid. Things, okay, so now everything I said is things that do not grow, right? Okay, I can say myself, I grow. Teacher, grow. Things that do not grow, I told. The cup doesn't grow. The cup is the same. It doesn't grow in height. It doesn't grow in amount. And even size, it doesn't get bigger day by day, right? Even the pen I told you about. Does the pen grow? No, it doesn't. The ink gets like the ink decreases, but the pen doesn't increase or decrease. It's the same, even 100, like even 100 years after. Um, think that think that teacher kept this for say for 100 years, but after me, if someone takes this pen and see, oh, the pen hasn't grown. It doesn't increase in size, height, or anything, not even amount. So you can actually do this at your home. I don't think it's necessary for you to write it down, but you can just maybe, just go around your surrounding, just walk, just stand up, walk, and see, okay, this is there in my environment. Does it grow or not? Just think for yourself. Growth means it increases by height, size, amount. Things that do not grow are like it just is there forever. Just think, okay, this doesn't grow. This is the same always, okay? So think about that. It'll make this concept very easy for you to understand. Okay, so you can see that there are things that grow as well as that do not grow. But there is a simple concept between growth and non-growth. Why do things grow? Who grows? That's my question. What do you think? Just I'll give you like 1 minute. Think about it for yourself, okay? Who in the world grows and who in the world does not grow? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Just think it for yourself. Yes, so I hope you guys thought about it. So what do you think co components with the growth are? That's absolutely right. Living things. We are living things. So we grow, right? I grow. You also grow. Your parents grow, and then who else? Oh, your dogs grow. If you have a puppy, from like 2 years, you have a big dog, right? Because I also had a puppy, and after 2 years, we can't recognize him. So, like that, everything grows. Not everything in the sense is like, what do you call it? Living things. Living things grow. Living things, oh, you can call them living organisms as well. For these living things, we can include animals, plants, there are microorganisms, like small organisms. All of these are living organisms. And what are the non-growing, the components that does not grow, like the pen, the pencil, the cup? What do you think they are? They are non-living things. Oh, non-living, no. We don't call them organisms. So non-living things. So this is very important. Components of the environment can be categorized under living things and non-living things. Please write this in your textbook, in your writing book. The things that I highlight, please do write them because these are like the most important things that you need to know, okay? So the components of the environment can be categorized as living things and non-living things. So in this picture, you can see there's a little boy, there's a dog, there's a plant, there's a tree. All these are non-living organisms, which means they grow. Like me, like you, they also grow. The dog grows, the tree from the little plant, there'll be a huge tree from few years. If you take a coconut tree, from like 10 years, you'll see a huge tree, right? Like that. But non-living things does not grow. The bicycle does not change, right? It doesn't grow, it doesn't become small. It stays like that forever. Even water, even the glass, pens, books, it doesn't grow. So, you can do the assignment if you like at your house, but as I said, the things that grow and does not grow, it's basically what you saw in the environment is living and unliving things. Uh, so we can see if we take living things, okay? Now we'll be talking about living things. In your grade, the most important two things that are living, okay, living things. So living organisms are plants and animals. So you can see living things. Write this down. Living things can be divided into two main groups as plants and animals. So, first we talked about growth, which is increase in size, height, and amount. And we then moved on to what is living organisms, the organisms that grow. So, this living organisms can be categorized into two parts as plants and animals. Let's look at what plants and animals, the examples. You can actually write this down if you want, but this is not necessary because you know plants, right? You know coconut tree, you know jack tree, you know bamboo, you know papaya. All these trees are plants. Then animals, human, deer, fish, parrot, butterfly, snail. All these are animals, which are also living organisms, which also grow. So, okay, so we talk about another um, living organism, which makes it into three. So the two main are plants and animals. There's also another group called microorganisms. So, microorganisms, dear children, you can't see them with your eyes. Sometimes you can, but most of the time, you actually can't see them with your eyes. It's just there might be microorganisms all over like us. Even in your body, you can't see them, but there are microorganisms. So the naked eye here is the eye that we watch stuff, okay? So we give that a name, the microorganisms. The organisms that cannot be observed with the naked eye is called microorganisms. Okay, please write this down because it's very important. The organisms that cannot be observed through the naked eye are known as microorganisms. So, as an example, if you take water from a pond, if you observe that there are special instruments called microscopes to observe this, when you keep it under the microscope, you will see, oh my God, there are organisms living inside. And who are they? Who are they? That's right, microorganisms. The organisms that cannot be seen through the naked eye. These are microorganisms. So these are examples of microorganisms that you can see in a drop of water. They have various names, but just remember for now, these are microorganisms, okay? And then this is the special instrument that I told you guys about. There's a thing called microscope. So now we all know that microorganism is a living organism that also grow. So, but what's the difference? microorganisms cannot be seen through the naked eye. So, how don't you think? Okay, so teacher is telling me, okay, microorganisms can't be seen through the naked eye. But how did people discover there are microorganisms? Right? How did people see microorganisms? That's absurd. Why is teacher telling me you can't see them? You can see it through the naked eye, but you can see using this instrument, the microscope. So it has special lenses and magnification lenses that um, or microorganisms can be captured through this. But a naked eye cannot see that much. It's only like because naked eye is only limited to a certain area. So there are two microscopes named as electron microscope and compound microscope. So in this grade, you learn about the compound microscope. Oh, sorry. Let me. Hmm. Oh, the compound microscope. So the compound microscope is used to observe things that cannot be seen with the naked eye or microorganisms. Okay, so a large number of microorganisms can be seen in water, soil, and air. Okay, so where can, okay, so please write down this question. Write examples of where microorganisms can be seen. Write examples of where microorganisms can be seen. Okay, dear children, where do you think? Write as answers water, soil, air, rotten food. Okay? Are you guys done? Water, soil, air, rotten food. Okay, so accordingly, organisms can be divided into three main groups now. Now we wrote about two main groups, right? So they're saying three. You might ask, teacher, why three? You told two before. So going one after the other, the two most important to are plants and animals. Then you learned about the microorganisms. So if you want, you can change the previous note. Organisms can be divided into three main groups as plants, animals, and microorganisms. I think it would be better for you guys to do that because I didn't write the two previously because I didn't want to like make you guys, learn a lot of stuff at once. But since we have time, I thought maybe we can move to this part as well. Okay, so just cut the previous one by one line, just two main groups, cut two, put three, and then write plants, animals, and also write microbes. Okay, because I think actually microorganisms are very important as well. So yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Characteristics of organisms. Okay, so I think we can actually do this part 1.1. Okay, so I think 1.1 and we'll finish it from 1.1. Okay, so it's easy actually, so you don't have to worry much. So, characteristics of organisms. The one that we already talked about is growth, right? Do you remember what is growth? Okay, now think again. What is growth? Growth is the increase of size, amount, and height of an organism. So you can see pictures. Okay, there's a small plant, it grew into a big tree, the coconut plant. The kitty. Oh, so cute kitten, right? It grew into a big cat. So this increase in size or height or amount is called as growth. You don't have to write this down again because you already wrote. But now write it down. Characteristics. First write this topic, characteristics of organisms, and then put one and write growth. You don't have to define it again because we already taught it. So you can, as always, as we mentioned before, growth is only common for living things. Non-living things do not grow. By no chance, they don't grow. Pens, the pen never grows, right? So growth is only possible for living organisms. So the first main important characteristic of an organism is growth. Okay, so here you have an activity. I'll link down a video below so that you can actually check the experiment because I won't be able to do the experiment. I'll try my best to do the experiment for you guys. So let's just go through it. You can see what do you need? You will need a few yogurt cups with wet soil, some green gram seeds, and a measuring tape. Very simple, just a yogurt cup. Get some soil and green gram or some growing seeds and also a measuring tape. So first you have to put the green gram seeds in water, like soak it in water, keep it in water for 1 day. Then the next day, take the green grams out and get the plastic yogurt cup that you have. Put soil into it, like it should be wet soil so that the plants can grow, right? So also remember when you get okay, think that this is the yogurt cup. So make some holes at the bottom, like just stick a pen in and make some yogurts at the hole of the like yogurt cup. And then you can actually put like the seeds inside the yogurt cup with soil, with wet soil. Okay, remember wet soil for the plant to grow. Then you can see from few days the seeds start to germinate. That means the seeds start increasing in height. You can actually see like it growing, like maybe first day it will be like this, second day this. Then it will increase by height. So what you do is use the measuring tape. You will measure the height. So you have to write, okay, so you have a diagram here. You can write the dates and height of the green gram plant by day by day. So first day, just measure, okay, only the green gram plant. Okay, number of leaves, none. Second day, third day, by day, you see the green gram seeds germinating. So keep this for 2 weeks and you can obtain your results like this. So when you actually look at your results, okay, so after doing this, when you actually do this, you will see the first day it will be like just this. Obviously, the first day you won't grow, right? The second day it will have a small tail-like structure. Third day, kind of long tail-like structure. Third day, okay, now it has come out of soil. So it has small, very like a kind of long tail with branches. So fourth day, now fifth day, you can see two leaves. Fourth day you can kind of see, like fifth day you can actually see a bit of like one leaf and one leaf. Second day two leaves and it has grown bigger, the seed has divided. See the and at the end of 2 weeks you can see a plant here. So this is germination and growth of a seed. So as I said, increase of size, amount, and height is growth. So growth is this. What you see in the seed, it grows. It grows, it increases. It becomes bigger. That's the first of characteristics of organisms. So second one, nutrition. So, what do you think is nutrition? So, nutrition is okay, so now if we take as an example, we eat daily, right? So, we have 3 meals per day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is very important that you guys must have your breakfast and all this meals of the day. So, why do we have these meals? just just it's not that just for the sake of eating, right? Just because, oh my god, I love eating, I'm gonna eat. It's not just because of that. Why? How do we live? How do we, like, okay, so I move my hands, I'm talking to you right now. How do you get all this energy? It's by nutrition. So in simple words, satisfying the food requirements of organisms is called nutrition. Okay, so if you're satisfying your okay, I energy requirements. So here, satisfying the food requirements of organisms are called is called nutrition. It's simple. The food that we take, it's nutrition. There's a word here. What is autotrophic? Do you know what autotrophic is? It's really important in even higher grades because autotrophic keeps coming on and coming on again. Just think for 30 seconds what autotrophic is. Don't look at the screen. Just think, what is autotrophic and why is it important? Okay, dear children, since I think you guys are also very exhausted, right? So after nutrition, I'll stop it here, okay? So it'll be easy for you guys as well. So autotrophic, what is autotrophic? So you know green plants, right? Green plants are like plants which, okay, you can see green plants like, okay, when you step outside, oh, there's a plant, it's green. It's basically the plant that is green. So these plants actually produce food by themselves. For others, they produce food by a process called photosynthesis. Okay, so take it easy. I know it's hard. Okay, so if you step out of the house, you can see a green plant. In this green plant, understand, look at it. You can see there are fruits, right? So what does that mean? It doesn't, okay, so if you take a plant, it doesn't eat the others, right? It produces themselves, like food for themselves, and it okay, so okay, you must be wondering, okay, why does the plant doesn't eat others? But teacher says, okay, every organism has nutrition. How? My dear children, nutrition in green plants, especially plants, are produced within themselves. So they themselves produce their food. Okay. So this is called autotrophic. Okay, right? Put a star mark. Autotrophic. Put an arrow. Green plants producing food within themselves. So as the meaning, first put autotrophic. Organisms that produce food within themselves. Organisms that produce food within themselves are known as autotrophic. So these green plants are autotrophic. And for your answer, how do they feed, how do they get nutrition? By themselves. So for this, okay, so every process in our body has a name, right? So if you're breathing, you say breathing. It's called respiration. You're breathing in and out. And this process is known as photosynthesis. Okay. So, photosynthesis, you use carbon dioxide from air. Okay. So, you know that, okay. So, we breathe oxygen, right? For our survival. Teacher breathed oxygen and teacher exhaled carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas that we exhale. Oxygen, carbon dioxide. So you also exhale carbon dioxide and inhale oxygen. So this oxygen is gathered in the air, and you can see soil water. So remember, we in the activity we did, there was a plant and soil with water, right? Wet soil. So this is for photosynthesis for the plant, which is needed. Okay, so soil water is soil that has water in it, and also sunlight. This is like the most basic thing about photosynthesis. Or write down what are the components needed for photosynthesis. What are the components needed for photosynthesis? First one, carbon dioxide. First one, carbon dioxide. Just write an arrow, air. Put an arrow, carbon dioxide, arrow, air. And then water, arrow, soil. Water, arrow, soil. Then light, arrow, sun. Light, arrow, sun. So if you ask, just write carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. That would be okay as well. But it's better if you write the whole answer. Carbon dioxide from air, soil, water, sunlight. Okay, so this is a picture. You see, we have a picture here as well. This is the plant. You can see it gets light from the sun. Ooh. It gets carbon dioxide from air and water from soil. The three main things. This is photosynthesis. And also remember, children, the important part is oxygen. The plants produce oxygen and release it to the environment for us. So the plants are very important. That's why we say don't cut plants. It gives us a lot of importance in the environment. If we don't have plants, we don't have oxygen. And what will happen? We will die, right? If we don't have enough oxygen to breathe, of course, we are going to die. So, my dear children, that's autotrophic. Now, again, what is autotrophic? Organisms that feed on themselves. Okay, that produces food by themselves and eat by themselves are known as autotrophic. Animals who are what are heterotrophic? Okay, so next one is heterotrophic. We call it autotrophic. Now put the next dot and write heterotrophic. So can we produce food by ourselves? No, right? Like, of course, we cook, but we can't produce like food in ourselves, right? I don't produce like, what do you call it? Like fruits on my body, right? There's no fruits hanging on my body. So animals can't produce their own food. So they depend on plants directly or indirectly. So what does directly and indirectly means? Just write organisms that depend on plants directly or indirectly are known as heterotrophic. So directly means you direct away eat the plant, right? Okay, you have, so in your diet you have green plants. So that's directly you consuming plants. But indirectly is think that you okay, so uh the chicken, right? They feed on one organism and that organism feeds on plants. Okay, so before that, just think, okay, deers, okay, as we are quite complicated. So let's take the lion. The lion eats deers, right? They think that a lion eats a deer. So this deer eats grass for survival, right? So the deer to grass is direct dependency, but the lion doesn't eat grass, but it does depend on grass. Why? Because the lion eats the deer ate grass for his survival. That means the grass is in the deer's body, right? Then when the lion eats the deer, that means he ate both the deer and the grass because the deer has grass inside his body, like inside his like he ate grass, right? So he has grass inside his body for his own self. So yeah, so depends. So directly is like deer depending on grass. Indirectly is the lion depending on deer, which also depends on plants. So we can say animals such as deers, cows take plants as food. They depend on plants directly. But animals such as lion, tiger, who eats flesh food, depends on plants indirectly. So you can see a cow eating grass. So you can see a deer eating grass. Then the lion eats the deer. For your extra knowledge, so this is like not much important for your exam, but just remember. So as I said, in photosynthesis, there are three main important things: carbon dioxide from air, soil, water, and sunlight, right? So during the process of photosynthesis, I told you we usually inhale oxygen, right? So plants inhale carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. So there's an importance here that the two gases in air should be kept constant. So have you heard the saying that the world should be equal? That's why we have variations in like that's why we depend on each other. The lion depends on deer to create a constant environment. So by the photosynthesis process, the plant makes sure that the two carbon dioxide and oxygen levels are kept constant within the environment system. Okay, so I think you guys will be exhausted if I do respiration and these stuff because it's really hard. Like the next part is kind of hard, respiration. So I'll stop here for now. I hope you guys learned something from this, and please wait for the next video of this part. And I'll do the next class. We'll be doing movement, respiration, reproduction, and diversity. I think that's it of the whole chapter, right? We can finish it the next day. So I will attach the link for your what do you call it, experiment. And I'll try my best to give you some worksheet links as well. So I'm not making it sure, but I will try my best to put it below in the comments. And I hope you guys understood something from today's lesson. And if you like, please subscribe to my channel and give me some support so I can keep bringing on. And this is a volunteer service. No, I don't charge any charge anything. It's just me doing for the community and for everyone who needs help in science. And I'll leave my number below. If you have any questions about science, just contact me like in like grade 6 students. And if you want a class, I might be able to like arrange a class for a really small amount. If you need that, you can contact me, but I will keep doing these videos as well. In the class, I will be explaining it to you like individually and giving you worksheets and questions. So that will be helpful as well, but you can always keep watching because I will do this here as well. ඔගලන්ට මම එක ෆ්‍රී කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ඕනේ නම් ක්ලාස් එකක් කරන්න මට මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්න. මම එතකොට පොඩි ගානකට ක්ලාස් එකක් කරලා දෙන්නම්. මෙතන වෙනසක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතනයි එතනයි. මොකද මෙතන කරන්නේ තී ටිකම තමයි. ඒ වුණාට එතන පොඩ්ඩක් තව ටෙන්ටිව් සහ වැරදි වගේ දේ තියෙන ඒවා කරෙක්ට් කරන්න වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද මට හැමෝගෙම වැරදි කරෙක්ට් කරන්න බෑනේ. හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් මට දාන්න මම ඕනලාක උදව් කරන්න ඉන්නවා. මේවට මම සල්ලි ගන්න නැහැ. හැබැයි ක්ලාස් එක ඉන්ඩිවිජුවල් කරනවා නම් පොඩි ගාණක් ගන්නවා. Thank you so much for joining and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care guys.